Greetings, listeners of the Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined podcast. I am totally normal human Hassan, joined as always by regular host Tristan.
Yeah, hey, that's me. Regular old host Tristan.
Today, we are here to discuss normal human things like the latest sports ball game and how we enjoy drinking things out of a cup. Take drink out of cup to prove your humanity. Don't ignore that last part. Excuse me while I drink like a normal human.
Okay, yeah. Everybody join in the drinking, please. There's a long face down drink. Was that pleasurable for you for that drinking motion?
That's the normal human drinking.
Like this? Yeah?
Yes, the convex proboscis makes it difficult.
I see. All right. Well, that is a good point, actually. I never thought of it that way. So, Hassan, what are we here to discuss today? This is a podcast
Human stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course, yes. A celebration of all that makes us human, which is hobbies, entertainment.
Have you had cookies?
I have.
Are good.
They are good. I agree. Yes. Are you a big fan of cookies, Hassan?
I am.
Oh, good. What are your favorite cookies?
Have you heard of chocolate chip?
I have, yes. I have had many chocolate chip cookies.
I had them for dinner.
Hey, you're a grown adult. You can eat what you want for dinner. That's all good. I mean, yesterday I housed an entire. Yesterday I decided I don't really want to make dinner, so I just basically went and just bought a microwave dinner. They put in the microwave. It's just mac and cheese, and then I topped that with a piece of birthday cake. So Yeah. So how about that sports ball? You mentioned sports ball. What's your favorite sports ball team?
The not Martians.
Oh, I'm a big fan. Okay, well, not Martians are okay this year, but I'm a bigger fan of the Texas maybe Cowboys. So they're pretty good in the sports ball league. They get a lot of touch ins and lay downs. Yeah. Anyway, I think you're a Martian. I'm pretty sure you're a Martian, actually.
Yeah. No. I am the human.
That reaction makes me feel as if you are either very human or very Martian. It's really 50-50. I can't quite tell.
If I was a Martian, how could I do this?
Oh, that's a good point. Martians famously don't have fingers. Is that right? Is that what you're getting at? Martians don't have fingers and hands?
Yeah, that's what I hear. I've never seen one. But I hear they don't have them.
Okay. That's good to know. Here's the thing. Can you confirm for me something that Hassan would say? What's Hassan's favorite thing in the whole world?
He likes to do normal human things like licking stamps.
Oh, damn, that boy loves looking stamps. It's true. God damn it. Can't tell if this is the real Hassan or a Martian replacing Hassan still. Okay. Okay. Could you tell me how much Hassan enjoys Pokemon?
He loves eating the Pokemon.
All right. Yeah. Fuck. Wait, does he? Crap. No, he says Pokemon are our friends. But he could be a weird Pokemon cannibal guy.
Humans love to eat friends.
No, we don't. Only in desperate situations. Yeah, it's one of those things. If I was desperate, I'd eat the shit out of Hassan.
May have made a mistake in my disguise.
Oh, have you eaten humans?
Many.
Oh, okay. Well, that cinches it then. You're definitely the Martian. So,
yeah, you figured me out.
Yeah, I have. And you know what? I think you need to just go back to Mars for the time. Maybe work in your disguise. I'm not saying
Okay.
I'm not saying that. No. I'm saying come back when you have a better handle on how to be human.
No, I see how it is.
All right, get the fuck out of my country. Get out. Yeah, get out. Get out of my country. Yeah. Illegal alien. Literal alien from a different planet. See how it is. Yeah, that's right. Son, you're back to us. You're drinking normally, it looks like.
Yes.
All right, so you're no longer possessed by the consciousness of a horrible red or green Martian or white Martian.
I mean, that kind of sounds better than, having to deal with.
Yeah.
Everything.
The planet on fire, political unrest across the globe, etc. Etc.
Anyway, Tristan, why are we here?
Oh, that's a good question. We're here to discuss Martian Man. Oh, God. Yeah, there we go. That's the card I went with. Fuck. All right. Absolute Martian Manhunter. The final one of these in the series, because I don't think Green Lantern and Flash are all that worth me bringing up. Besides to say they exist and they're okay. But Absolute Martian Manhunter is the one that I want to do. I pretty much want to do this series on the most because it's real good. It's real. It's peak comic books, is what it is. I haven't gotten a comic like this since I don't know, the kind of like the mid days of Vertigo comics, where they're doing a thing that's more like cerebral and interesting, as opposed to like a superhero thing that's just like, hey, I punch guys, that kind of stuff. And there's still punch in this book. Let me be perfectly clear. There are still fist fights and stuff happening in this book occasionally. It just doesn't happen all that often, because this is more of a book that is about the human condition through the lens of a Martian ghost, I would say.
Oh, Tristan.
Why?
You're confused. You're talking about Ghost of Mars.
Someday I'll be talking about Ghost of Mars. That movie is... Man, what a movie they made, huh? Ho ho!
Ice Cube. That's who is in it. Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Fucking... Yeah. They made an interesting flick, I will say that.
Sure, interesting. Yes,
that's the only word I can use to describe it. Otherwise, it gets either way too high of a praise or way too low of a praise.
Yeah,
because they did something, and it's like they tried some shit and failed, but at the same time, it's, I guess, technically well executed. It's weird.
I can't sign off on
that. Yeah, I barely can. That's the thing. Anyway, Ghost of Mars is not what we're here to talk about. Absolute Martian Manhunter is what we're talking about today. So yeah, like I said, this one's difficult for me to really describe. This is more of an excellent unpacking episode / review, because I like this book a lot. This is a very good comic book, and this is like some peak comic shit. And this is doing some stuff that I don't think any other comic is doing right now, especially in the superhero lens of stuff. You would find something akin to our absolute Martian Manhunter in the indie scene, of course, but yeah, this has been just excellent so far. So it's Dennis Camp, spelled with a Z, Dennis, and Javier Rodriguez as the artist. Dennis Camp is the writer, and from what I've been told, they did something very similar for a different series and for DC, but I think it was for fantasy. It's a whole thing. I didn't read that, and I really should have. I think I should have gotten back. I need to go back and reread that, because apparently they've done gangbusters work so far as a team for DC. And after reading these 6 issues of Martian Manhunter that are out there right now, I need to definitely check out more of their work, because in 6 issues they have effectively I think it's gone on hiatus, I think, for the time being, just as a heads up for anybody who wants to get into this book after this. It's only got the 6 issues so far. I think it's still ongoing according to everything I've read. I think it's just on a break because it hasn't had 2 issues in the last 2 months. So yeah. But what they have done is taken the superhero lens of comics and applied a different valuation to it, I guess. Because they took Martian Manhunter, which is the absolute, and in the absolute world, like they're taking, like I said in the previous episodes, you take the character and you distill it down to its best properties and then change a few things to make it more that, but you can't say it's not that character. It is still absolutely that character. The point of the series.
Even more vaguely BDSM looking attire.
Not in this case. Although
I think they missed the point of that character. The weird,
I mean, like, is this
strap overall thing and the booty shorts? Like,
this one's, well, I guess this one's naked in a way.
Yeah, the point is he's not naked, right? Because it's weird that he has suspender kind of thing, like either the straight down or the X.
Yeah.
When he just has the booty shorts.
Yeah, it's weird. That's the thing. I find it interesting. Martian Manhunter's design has changed frequently. I kind of personally like the one where he's in more of like a spandex like suit, and then he has the X or the straps. But I do love the classic so much. But this doesn't have any of that. This thing is barely recognizable as Martian Manhunter. Fucking flat out. I will say this. They're calling this Martian Manhunter, and this has such little to do with that character, that it's almost like a weird travesty that did this, but if in that light, but the execution is so extremely good that, like, but and again, you can still say, like, hey, yeah, no, this is definitely some Martian Manhunter stuff, just on a different level. Because what they've done here is they focused mostly on the telepathy side of things, and they've effectively eschewed a lot more of his other powers. Like, Martian Manhunter is, he has super strength, he's got the shape-shifting thing, intangibility, flight, etc. Like, technically speaking, where the Martian is, and he's just kind of called the Martian in this one, the Martian is effectively a ghost. He is intangible, he flies. Super strength is questionable, because he doesn't hit other things. He's intangible to a point where he can't touch anything. Until the last issue of the series that I read, which is issue 6, in which he does actually throw down with the White Martian, and like is able to touch him and punch him and that kind of stuff. But the point of this character is that he more so works in a weird metaphorical sense. So he's very like up there, head in the clouds kind of character. It has to be grounded by our boy John Jones. So John Jones is so Martian Manhunter is supposed to be like, a shape changer who changes into John Jones and sticks as that for a while, and he's a detective and all this stuff. Well, what they've done here is that they made John Jones his own person, and he is possessed by the ghost of the Martian. That kind of latches onto him from Mars and needs him to help him fight the White Martians off. And he doesn't really believe it at first, because obviously you wouldn't, but the Martian unlocks such an immense amount of the third eye mental acuity that he's like, oh my god, the world makes sense to me now, and I'm the only one that could stop the White Martian. And it's just like this. In a different comic, he would be a crazy person.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like even in regular DC,
yeah,
if you were there's a variety. You could go to, like so many magical characters and spiritual and all that.
Yeah,
I get advice. He'd be like, I'm possessed by a ghost. Like, no worries, got you.
We got
from
you,
Mars.
yeah.
And they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no, you don't understand. It's real. It's like, oh,
You're
yeah.
insane.
A ghost from Mars came down to Earth and possessed you. Sure. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where, like, yeah, it's so far-fetched. It's so incredibly far-fetched that, like, okay, I know they're working towards the Justice League at some point. They're saying like a couple of years out or more. And I do really want this to happen, where like John Jones shows up to the JLA. And they're like, what can you do? He's like, I'm possessed by a fucking Martian ghost. And they're like, we don't truck with that.
They're like, I'm an alien, and that sounds dumb to me.
Yeah. like Superman would be like, what is wrong with you? And like Batman doesn't have the detective skills anymore that he normally does, so that's beyond him. He doesn't give a shit about the fact that he's like this guy would do that. He doesn't know anything but anybody else, and that's his whole shtick. He just jumps in feet first, and it just be like, we have to trust this FBI agent, who is our sole like intelligence gathering kind of guy, that he, yes, has the powers of a Martian ghost.
Oh, I'm sorry. John Jones is an FBI agent now?
He is, yes. Yeah. So which is, I think this works really well, because it's very, he's FBI and he works homicide. And then after his little breakthrough, I guess, with the Martian, they stick him on like the weird crimes division, and he's doing like a little more patrol work and that kind of stuff, which isn't totally a thing that the FBI does, but as a way to just kind of like get his head straight. They're like, yeah, you're doing this now, because he went a little nutso, and he got a little flighty. The thing is, he doesn't pronounce the fact that he has a Martian ghost in his brain, because he knows how that sounds. He's not stupid. He's not going to go around like, I have a Martian ghost in my brain to anybody. He'd be like, okay. He's basically like, okay, this thing is in my brain, and it definitely is there. I'm not going crazy. This is a thing that is happening. I can't do anything about it, so I just have to work with it. So effectively what he's doing is showing up sometimes to like regular crimes the FBI shouldn't even be part of, and trying to police them, but ineffectively, but just enough so the Green Martian can just like get in there and fix the problem. Because this is a battle of like concepts. this is a battle of extreme high-minded stuff, and there is nothing here that is all that grounded, except for when the White Martian does something like really pisses off a bunch of people and turns them into weapons against John Jones, and therefore is trying to kill a Green Martian by killing John Jones. Like, that stuff that happens and keeps John's life difficult, to say the least. Issues 5 and 6 are tantamount to that, just because, like, the White Martian really starts going crazy with stuff, and I was like, fuck it, I'm sending a hit squad. I'm sending hit squads, plural. I'm turning the whole city into a hit squad and trying to kill John Jones, kind of shit.
It's what I assume this means, that the White Martian is like possessing some rich mobster or something.
Nope, just individual people.
Oh, wait, then how is it getting a hit squad?
Yeah, so the White Martian has. So here's the thing with the White Martian, it's got like a longer range of power. It's also
okay.
Here's the thing, the power level of things is extremely ill-defined in this book, because I'm not sure how powerful the Green Martian is, and I'm not sure how powerful the White Martian is. The White Martian is, however, powerful enough to affect climate change.
Positively or negatively?
Negatively. In issue 3, it creates a heat wave so horrible that it turns everybody into like just wrathful maniacs. And that's what it's doing. So like, and then the issue is like, how do we stop a heat wave? And it's like, well, the White Martian's doing it. Like, well, we gotta find the White Martian and defeat him. All right, let's go. And this is where the comic is. It's just like it doesn't care about punching guys. Like it does, and like and even when it does, it's John Jones going like, and this is a metaphor. It's going like, I don't know what for, but they are fighting in a metaphorical sense, and I can't explain how or what that means, but they are. And the book has a lot of this in it, where it feels like to me, if you've ever read the Legion comics from the X-Men or watched that show, it's got a lot of those same notes and concepts, where you have a character who is so psychically powerful that nothing really makes sense to them, and therefore the things they do are so beyond what anybody would do. Like this creature is for sure an alien. It's kind of like in Watchmen with Dr. Manhattan, and how he's so far beyond the like kin, the ken of people, where he's like, I don't know what to do. I can change things at an atomic level. I know what everybody's thinking, feeling. I know what makes up space. I can do literally anything. I don't know what to do with that. and the Green Martian's kind of the same way, but he has a kind of like I can at least point and go, I gotta fight that White Martian. He's a bad guy. I gotta save humanity because they seem pretty cool, and I don't like seeing people get hurt. I gotta fight the White Martian. So yeah, we at least got that. So here's the thing with the book, though, because that's like, I think the main draw for everybody is that like, hey, it's this is a book about a psychic battle, that is going to take place over these issues, and it's the White Martian versus the Green Martian, and they're constantly kind of butting heads. It's got a bit of a, if you ever watched Scanners and not just seen like the head blow up meme, and like actually watch that movie, it's got that vibe to it, where like people are in disguise and trying to hide their scanners' powers from other scanners, but it doesn't go well, and it's hard to do. So you have to kind of like really work on that, and then ambush them when you find out if there's a scanner and try and kill them.
Yeah, kind of thing. The way you're describing it also reminds me of Death Note. It sounds
it's very
a bit
Death
like
Note.
that.
It's very Death Note.
Now I do want to, because you just said, the Green Martian's goal is just sort of best the White Martian.
Yeah.
So, and I realized there are only 6 issues, but how does it sort of feel as something that would become ongoing, right? In the sense that, most of the time, the way that like DC and Marvel specifically, superheroes are written is they don't have an end sort of goal state, right?
Yeah.
Batman wants to protect Gotham.
And he will do that forever, yeah.
Superman, Metropolis, the X-Men just want to overcome the sort of
racism.
Yes. I'm trying to think of the term, like not intangible, but the idea, right? They're trying to overcome an idea, and so there's not like a clear end goal, and so you can kind of always have new enemies or old enemies come back, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas if Martian Manhunter's sort of one goal is just defeat this one person. That doesn't sound like a, hey, this comic could go on for years kind of thing.
That's the thing. I don't think it really could, but that's why I think it's probably the best one they have, because I feel like this is a book where they actually have an end goal in sight, and if they stopped at issue 6, you actually have a pretty tight ending with a decent little cliffhanger if they want to continue. And like I said, these 6 issues so far have kind of been about the human condition and what it means to be influenced by higher powers. It's almost as if the White Martian kind of like attaches to people in like a more like a religious fervor in them, as opposed to like the Green Martian, who is very logic based, is like basically tapping into John's sense of morality and justice and goodness. And it's like, we got to do this because it's good to do and it will help people. And he goes, perfect, you're right, I will help. As opposed to the White Martian, where it's like, you got to do this because I'm basically God and fuck you for not doing it. And they go like, yeah, you're right, I will do that. I also have infected your soul. You have no soul anymore, it's mine. Okay, cool. I own you now. Yeah, you do. We are a cult, I guess? Sure, absolutely. That's kind of how shit goes on the White Martian side. And that's issue 5 and 6 get weird with it too, because like I said, he makes hit squads to go and try and kill John, and effectively remove the Green Martian from play, because they both need tethers to Earth, because otherwise they have nothing to really go off of. They came from space via, I can't remember how, and it doesn't really matter. But they came from space to do battle on Earth, and basically, yeah, John is the only thing holding the Green Martian there. So if the White Martian kills John, he wins. Period. And like that's a pretty easy premise, but the White Martian doesn't realize that until like a little bit later on.
And wait, what do you mean? The White Martian doesn't realize that by murdering his rival, he wins?
Effectively, yes. He realized that murdering the White Martian, he would win. But for the time being, he doesn't understand, because the White Martian is such a like wider net of being that like at a certain point it doesn't care about the Green Martian. It's kind of like if like the Decepticons came down and they had already long ago infected the entire planet, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're basically your gods. Don't worry about it. And then the Autobots wake up, and they're like, oh, we got to stop them now. All right, we got to do this all totally in disguise, and hopefully they don't notice us doing so. And then the Decepticons go like, we're being stopped over here. Oh, it's that guy now. Okay, and they go and get him. Yeah, Optimus Prime.
Are you saying that the White Martian has been on Earth for quite a while?
Ish.
So what you're telling me is that the story of aliens coming to the Earth a long time ago.
Yeah.
As ghosts possessing humans. Tristan, that's Scientology.
Yeah. Effectively.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, you know.
I didn't say it wasn't Scientology.
L. Ron Hubbard wasn't a great writer, but he did make some great jazz, so...
Pretty good musician, you gotta say, yeah. Yeah.
I can understand why they'd want to take inspiration from him.
Yes. So, yeah, the thing is, like, I'm not sure how much they... Like, I'm not sure how connected into Xenu the writer is here. Because, like, Dennis Camp, I'm not sure where he got most of his ideas, but it's pretty much Scientology. But with that said, like, the White Martian is the Scientologist, and the Green Martian is logic cutting through the bullshit. So, they at least made Scientology the bad guy, which it actually is. I mean, like, if we can all recognize that one religion is stupid and sucks, it's at least Scientology.
Oh, yeah. Battlefield Earth is a terrible movie.
Oh man! Why'd they ever make that thing?
Also, I thought of something. Let me pitch you on something.
By all means,
they keep the book going by continually introducing new shades of alien, but to the point that they go through the primary colors, and so they start having to go into like, oh no, the taupe Martian, the mauve Martian, the chartreuse Martian. And it's just John Jones getting more and more frustrated with the Green Martian. He's like, how many of you are, like, how am I not done yet? We've been through 20 of you. I don't even know what, is aquamarine green or blue? What are we doing here, Martian in my head?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Like, I think that's the way to go, because, like, if you start introducing other colors of Martians, because Martian Manhunter doesn't really have a defined villain except for the White Martians, and I think that if you give this, like, more of a, hey, yeah, there's taupe Martians, there's red Martians, there's blue Martians now, how about a yellow Martian, etc., and you go more so, like, we're stealing the whole color spectrum from Green Lantern and just putting it here as well. Because you kind of can just, like, the two of them should intermingle, but they don't, for some reason.
I mean, you kind of said, you said, this comic is barely Martian Manhunter, but like, in a lot of ways, Martian Manhunter, for a character who is, like, been around quite a while and, on and off a main member of the Justice League.
Yeah.
He's never really had that many defining traits outside of his powers.
No, exactly.
In terms of, he's kind of got a defined personality and certain characteristics, like enjoying cookies and all that.
Yeah.
But, like, he doesn't, Batman, his goal, defend Gotham, does not kill people, works in the dark, those things. Martian Manhunter's never really had that, when you think about what is it that Martian Manhunter just wants to do, it's always just kind of been, He's the Martian who ended up on Earth and decided to become a superhero. And so he just does superhero stuff.
Yep, exactly. Now, I mean, the fun thing with that one is he eventually decided to become a superhero. I mean, he started off as a detective, of course, but, you know, he used those detective skills to be more of a superhero. He's like, you know what? I can also fly and hit real hard and turn invisible and all that shit. It's like, why don't I just...
minds.
Yeah, why don't I just apply these skills as well to my detective stuff? And it's like, yeah, why don't you? Yeah. So, before we get too far into the weeds as well, I 100% need to mention the art in this book. Javier Rodriguez is fucking amazing at the art. Like, this is a gorgeous book. From, like... I'm just gonna hold the book up. Hopefully they can... You know what? Here. I need to switch the camera around. So you see this a little better. Alright, first off, covers. Covers are pretty interesting, pretty cool. And like you have like really cool paneling. It's really well laid out. The art is well done. But then you get stuff where like the Martian's starting to seep into his brain. You get all these like extra layers of colors and psychedelic style stuff. And then you get like full on him trying to like be able to read the emotions of people, that kind of thing. And then you get stuff like this. This is just 2 pages of absolute psychedelic nonsense, which I love. Then the guy blows himself up, and then you get like a page like this, which here's the beautiful thing. There are 2 issues in this book, the first one and the last one, where you have this little snippet at the bottom. And it's like, hey everybody, like if you're ready for some fun and adventure, like to activate your Martian vision, please take page 25 of the comic book in your hands and hold it up to the light, which is this page right here.
That's pretty good.
Use a lamp, a reading light, or the sun itself. It's up to you. See diagrams for details. There's a diagram on the back, I believe. But if you basically hold this up to the light, you get like this image see through at the back. And this effectively is like overlays with this through the light, which means that you get to see the Martian behind John Jones here. And like you can't do that in digital media. You can if you just overlay them, of course. But this is way more interesting because they decided to use physical print media in a way that nobody really is doing that right now. And that's pretty cool. Also, I totally forgot until I saw this page. The Martian refers to themselves as a collective as the Martian Mindfucker. Yeah. It's the Martian Mind ... ER. So, that's a fun little thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, stuff like that. Like, this book is... And the reason why I wanted to show off the... I would normally show off, like, screenshots of this if I wanted to give you the art snippets. But I need to show you the print version because it's so important that this book is in print. Because of stuff like that. And it's rewarding to the people who are reading it in the print version. Like, oh, you're giving this lovely little treat because like I believe in the original run of this on the digital side of things, they didn't have an overlay page between the last 2 pages that gave you the little like, hey, here's what it looks like when it's overlaid with like through light per se. I don't think they did that until they realized like, oh, they put a weird little thing in there. Oh, we probably should like add a page so it makes it look a certain way. So people who are not reading this in a print format will get the same experience. But meanwhile, you can't have the same experience anyway because you can hold your phone up or your tablet up to the light, but that's not going to do shit all. But this, you can hold it up to the light and you can see through. you get that like, oh, that's fun. That's a cool little thing. And it's not life changing. It's not going to, it's a little mind blowing. It's no, like, who does this stuff anymore? Especially if you're into comics, it's usually pretty like, head down into the book. You're not too, like, you want to concentrate on what you're reading kind of thing. You're not too versed on what's outside of that. But then the book makes you go like, hey, engage with the outside world as well. And I think that's very important because this is a book. John Jones himself is so engaged with just his job. And he has a family, he has a wife and a kid. But he's like, yeah, this is one of your favorite detective tropes, Hassan. He is getting to be down on his luck because he's too enraptured with his work, and his family is seeing him less and less. And by the time the first issue starts, he's like, you know what, honey, you're right. I need to come home more. I need to basically be with you a lot more and stop being so involved in my work. You're right. This is killing me. I got to take some stress leave and do what's right for me. And then the Martian possesses him. And then he's like, I gotta like never be home ever.
Okay. So about after you just said the Martian calls himself the Mindfucker, it's like, please tell me John Jones doesn't, copulate with his wife during that, because that would, although a romance triangle plotline would be okay, but
I don't think it's stated whether that happens or not. I can't remember, to be honest. Okay. But like, I'm pretty sure it has happened. So yeah. With that said, like, they're at a point where like their tensions are pretty high between him and his wife, because she wants to see more of her husband and he's just not home all that much. And yeah, like I said, this book is really more so about the human condition than anything, because what you have is a story about this guy who's about to lose everything, gains these powers, and has this immense amount of responsibility to do something with them, and then proceeds to toe the line of losing what he has as much as possible, because he can't not. And when this is happening, John and his wife, there's an issue where they're just fucking going at each other in a fight. It's heartbreaking to watch and read, especially because it's drawn so well, and it's such a I keep using the word human, but that is what it is. It's such a real fight where like he's just waking up, he's sitting on the couch because he just kind of crashed out after doing a Martian thing, and he's just getting up, and like it's like 5 a.m. or something like that, and him and his wife just have a row. It's devastating, because and she's like in her house coat and he's disheveled, and they're just going at each other, and I'm like, man, this is life. This sucks.
Is like the Martian just like ghostly sitting there eating popcorn into it? Like, what? No. How is the Martian? Is he supportive of John?
The Martian usually stays out of this stuff because he doesn't understand these relationships at all.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I'm out of here. I'll be over here. Yeah, basically. And the Martian's like, yeah, so the White Martian is doing stuff over here. We should probably go stop him and don't stop fucking around with these other people. We got stuff to do, man. Come on. But like, there's a great point in the last issue where so after the White Martian tries to effectively pull a full purge on John Jones, I mean like the movie Purge, by sending hit squad after him. John is fighting guys in like in an alley with a baseball bat, and then like the White Martian doesn't quite know where he's at, so he just kind of sends all of his feelers out, including to his own home, where his wife and kid are. And they like a bunch of people show up at their doorstep, and then a guy breaks in, and So he breaks in. He's wearing a jacket that just says "clown" on it on the back. Fashion's weird. He's got a knife. He's going to kill John's wife. And he's like, yeah, I used to do this just with animals, but like the white Martian unlocked my brain, and now I made me realize and see that like, yeah, I can do it with the humans too. And so John's wife, like, logically shoots the guy in the face with a shotgun. Like, just takes his whole head off. And she's like, perfect, that's great. Until his head reforms into a word bubble. Like a full on, like, just blank orb word bubble. Out of the stump just rises this white word bubble.
Oh, like, I thought you meant made out of like human meat and that.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we couldn't do that for the Absolute Comics. I don't think they're not Black Label DC. They're like towing that line, but they're close to it, and they're not quite that far. So we couldn't do human meat stuff or anything like weird, like super horror shit. But having his head like basically erupt off his neck, and then having a word bubble appear out of nowhere, absolutely fine. And I think that's honestly the more effective little, like, it's actually pretty terrifying. I think it's more terrifying than the meat moving around. And he's actually able to talk to her through the word bubble. And it's like, so as he's saying stuff, that's projecting the words that you're reading in the book that this guy is saying. And so, like, it turns out that what the White Martian does is, like, yeah, he sucks your soul out and basically replaces it with a white abyss. And so when you're under his control, that's how you know. So it gets pretty messed up because, like, so you know how, like, in a lot of stories when there's like a mind control thing happening across like a large portion of people. And like, oh, it's clearly like they're like a villain is controlling these people. If we just defeat the villain, it'll be fine. We don't need to worry about like the consequences of our actions per se. Just don't kill anybody. Just don't kill anybody. It'll be okay as long as the villain is defeated. They'll go back to normal. Now that is semi-correct in this book, but it seems to not really have been stated that is the logic. Case here, because once John gets back to his wife and they have this beautiful little moment where she's like, John, I'm your partner. You got to realize that, like, I'm here with you through thick or through thin, and fighting these guys is what we're going to do. And he's like, hell yeah, wife. And then proceeds to shoot people ad nauseum. And his wife just gunned people down.
Maybe a little bit. You're like, oh, hey. Yeah. Yo, when I said I'm happy to have you with me, I didn't realize you'd go quite so trigger happy.
She joins in. So, like, because they have a son, they gotta protect her son. It's a whole thing.
Yes.
He's just enjoying himself in his room eating Chocos, Oreos in this world, because they can't use the Oreo brand, so, but yeah, so like, while this is happening, the White Martian is basically like the Green Martian and the White Martian are basically fighting on a metaphysical level, and what they're doing is constantly going inside and outside of people. They're like, there's a great panel where like the White Martian and the Green Martian are basically fighting each other across the face of a guy. Each one is possessing a different eye of this person. They're just like punching each. Yeah, it's wild looking. They're punching each other, and then they like fly out of there, and they go across like the greater Midtown, and then there's kind of like a maybe we saw Martians kind of situation where it's like some people who are believers are like, whoa, hold on, there's Martians, like there's something there in the sky, fighting each other, and they're giant. There's these giant weird ghosts in the sky killing each other, and like the whole thing boils down to like. While they're fighting, the Green Martian reaches up into the sky, pulls the moon down, which is in a crescent, and slits the White Martian's throat. and kills that white Martian.
And like a way to kill your enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a comic-ass comic. And then all is well. And then at that point, yeah, everybody goes back to normal. Which is a little too bad for the people who have been shot and killed on the front lawn of John Jones' estate. But I'm sure they'll have evidence and self-defense and all that stuff, and etc. They to be fair, they knocked out more people than they killed, but they definitely did kill people. That much is very clear. Yeah. So, and at the very, very end of that issue, even if it didn't get picked up for a future series as an ongoing, the last like few pages like kind of wrap things up really nicely. It's like, hey, everything's good. I still have the Green Martian, but I'm living with it. I'm making it work for me. And like, but we'll never really know, like, how the White Martian was doing all these things. And then like, kind of like, it gives you another similar page to the first issue where like you see through the light, but now it's John's son, and like the White Martian is on the other side of the page. Yeah. It's like, oh shit.
Okay.
The kid's evil, clearly. And it's like, okay, yeah, all right.
Kids are evil.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it sounds like to me, like what they're going to try to do here is essentially like, hey, what if Green Martian fought Damien from The Omen?
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and that's effectively the book. Like, I there's a lot more to it. Like, that's just like the main couple little plot lines, but like this book needs to be experienced, especially in the print format if you can, because they've done such a crazy job with the art and the paneling, and there are just some amazing like shots of like just wackadoodle shit happening, especially because this is a psychedelic book. So like there's a point in issue 2 where like a guy gets like shot through the head by a police sniper, because the issue 2 is basically about stopping a mass shooting in America, so you know. And so a police sniper like shoots him instead, and like there's the way the panel is, you just see the back of his head and the bullet kind of like going through him, and but like when it explodes, it's coming out with like a bunch of like the exit wound is exiting with a bunch of like psychedelic colors and like mind spray, not blood and gore.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, now he's rid of the horrible Martian influence and this kind of stuff. And it's like, it's
no, I see what you're putting down. It's Persona 4, and you have to put the gun to your head.
That was Persona 3.
Right, 3,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But even still, no. Although you're not totally wrong with comparing this to Persona, it's got a few of those vibes.
Okay.
So
right,
yeah, this book is all over the place, and what they've done with it though is such a fascinating, fun thing that like it went right to like the top of my like must read list. Every time I got home with an issue of Absolute Martian Manhunter in my possession, it's like I had to read it now. Like I'm not waiting on this one, because usually what I'll do is I'll divide my books into like DC goes first, then Marvel, and then indie stuff. I don't know why I do it that way. I just do. I think it's because like DC are meatier books and I need more energy to read them because there's usually a little more happening. Whereas in Marvel books, they're pretty throwaway, especially these days. Not saying their stories are terrible or anything. But like Marvel books, I just find are quicker reads. I find I can breeze through a Marvel book in about like 15 minutes, whereas like a DC one, it's like 20, 25 sometimes. Depends what's happening in the book. But like, for whatever reason, if it had have been Indies first, Marvel next, and then DC at the bottom, even if it was that, I would have jumped absolute Martian Manhunter, totally to the top of that pile, and be like, yeah, I'm reading this first because this is just so ridiculously good. Like, it's the writing, especially when it comes to like the actual like dialogue, the character writing, and the fact they made this like highfalutin psychedelic journey through God knows what, like the human condition, the mind, and emotions, and all this stuff. Like, this is the kind of thing where, like, if you ever read like papers that Timothy Leary published, this is like his jam. But those are hard to understand unless you've done mushrooms or acid or LSD in general, stuff like that. But what they've done is they've taken that sort of thing and made it accessible to an audience, and they're discussing these concepts in dialogue and through narration and that sort of thing, and it is parsable and readable and fun. And yeah, Absolute Martian Manhunter is just such a fascinating ride.
Okay. I do have one final question then before we wrap things up.
Sure.
Fuck, marry, kill, Martian Manhunter, Spock, Chewbacca.
Oh shit. Fuck, marry, kill, huh?
Yeah.
I would. Can all of them be Chewbacca? Because like.
No.
Oh fuck. Okay. I would fuck the Martian.
Okay.
Yeah. I would marry Chewbacca. Seems like a family man. Also, it's the fur. Like, here's the thing. You had a hard day at work. You come home. He's got that big furry body. You just fall right into it, man.
All right. I guess.
I guess I'm killing Spock because yeah. I nothing against them. Just one has to go. It was the logical conclusion. Yeah. It was the logical conclusion, Hassan.
Great. Why don't you tell people where to find us?
You can find me and Hassan at Blue Sky, which is at EIFNAR. Go there for more of me saying shit like that. You can go to our iTunes, Spotify page, leave us a review, rate us something, follow us, etc. Go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. Hit the buttons that do the funny little noises and bells and stuff, and they make little colors or something sometimes, I think.
I think they've actually removed the colors.
They well, that's fair. They're pretty dumb.
I believe YouTube has moved towards its like grayscale to try and make it difficult for you to like unsubscribe, kind of thing.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Not that I've been unsubscribing from a lot of channels, but like I've noticed it in other channels where it's just like, where's the unsub button? Like, oh, you gotta like do a drop down thingy here, and then it's just come on. God, just stop. Just stop and shitifying everything. That's a big part of this book, by the way, about Martian Manhunter. It's it's about unshitifying things.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Click buttons until your life has meaning again. Just go to our friends over DJDane.com. Let's go to Desert Music, DJDane.com. Listen to his great tunes. And look, if you are a Green Martian, you need something to possess, DJ Dane's right there, man. He'd be good at it, I think.
I'll sign off. Yeah, I'll sign off on that.
Yeah.
Possess him.
Yeah, possess him. I can only assume he would wield his Green Martian abilities for good. Not that he can really wield them exactly in the way that you'd want them to, because like it's more so the Green Martian just kind of bothers John to go in certain directions. Doesn't have much of a say. It is like a possession, so you know. Yeah, just saying. Anyway, that is it for our show. Tune in next time for the Earldoms episode of Everything's Fine That's Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Say it. You win.